Now is all we got. Now is all there is. Right now. Right here, right now. Woo! Ooh, it's all happening right now. It's all happening right now. Yeah, it's all happening right now. It's all happening right now. Well, reach deep inside, free your mind from the bonds of time. All right now, this is your destiny. All you see, yeah, was meant to be. Right now, give it all you got to give. Just live, this is all there is. Right here, right now. From the sky to the ground, all around life is going down. Right now, right now. Say, it's all happening right now. 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 If you're thinking back to yesterday, you're filled with regret. And you're thinking about tomorrow, you ain't seen nothing yet. If you're thinking, just stop. I'm not done yet. Well, yeah, free your mind from the not now. Let yourself go, stomp your feet, clap your hands, make some noise. Do the dance of joy. Free your mind from the not now. Let yourself go, stomp your feet, clap your hands, make some noise. Do the dance of joy. Sing do 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 do. You didn't get it. Do 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 do. Say do 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 do. Close. Do 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 do. Do the dance of joy. Sing. It's all happening right now. 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 That's a little easier. Sing it. It's all happening right now. 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 Yeah, yeah.
Please join me in prayer. As we look at the new, the now, and what's next, I know there is but one God, one life, and I'm living God's gift right here and right now. Spirit, that thing that holds it all together, the creator of all that is, moves, breathes, and has its being in me, through me, and as me. And the flame I practice in keeping lit. I see it in other things, other people, places, events, and situations. For it is by no coincidence that we meet, we have relationships, we have our ups and downs, we teach, and we learn from each other. It's abundantly clear with my human eyes in Mother Nature, in our bountiful Colorado blue skies, mountains, crisp air, full moons, stars that light the skies. The dog's tail that wags and a child that giggles. All, as Russell said, expressions of the divine. And I know for New Dawn, it has been my home for several years as I've done transformations from place to place and dates of service. It thrives, it survives, it stretches, it grows, and it blooms, just as the flowers will this spring. And I'm so grateful for this community, my home away from home. And as I click my Dorothy heels together, I can return to this home in energy, as people are doing online this very moment. In energy for the people sitting in the seats here and now. Whether people are communing in nature, in churches, synagogues, temples, sweat lodges, or having a cup of hot tea on their sofa, I know that this place I call home is ready available, nearer than my hand, nearer than my breath. Always here, the one consistent thing in this life. And this community that welcomes me home has so many volunteers and hands keeping it together, whether it be the hospitality team, the music, the musicians, the AV team, people that put the chairs together, tablecloths on the table, the practitioners that lead the meditations, and my practitioner friends that hold consciousness in the here and now. And from my fellow practitioner, Russell, who's going to be singing the praise, the love, the caring that he knows from his heart, for it is divinely delivered this day. For anyone in pain, distress, discomfort, coming to this moment, joining with them, and letting everyone know who they really are, this child of God. I'm grateful to be able to say these words, knowing they are true, pressed down and released in the divine universal mind. I can release and let go, and together we cement this by saying, and so it is. On the topic of new, now, what's next, are we actually choosing our future? As children, the future is exciting to imagine. Growing up, events and circumstances of our lives overwhelm us, and we sometimes fear the tomorrow, waiting for the floor to drop out instead of creating what we actually desire. The shift is within a, quote, future-ready mind state, end of quote. It is optimism, openness, curiosity, experimentation, and empathy. Seeing the world not as it is, but as we are. That's by Dr. Frederick Ferdby. The next quotation comes from Ram Dass. I'm going to give you a little bit of side note because I remember knowing of this man, but not his background. He was experimenting in the 1960s, as most people were alive when we were here. He did LSD, he did psilocybin. He was also formally known as Dr. Richard Alpert before he went to India and was given his name, Ram Dass. He even served on staff at Harvard and Stanford University, studied and practiced yoga, meditation, Sufi, and Judaism. Kind of sounds like a mini Ernest Holmes to me. And he wrote a book, What Next Is Now, How to Live Future Ready, in 1978. This is the man that coined a very favorite phrase of mine, be here now, which simply means be present, stay in the moment, focus, and pay attention. And from our founder, the honored Dr. Ernest Holmes. And you know I paraphrased this. I see the future is bright with promise. It beckons me forward, realizing my worth and place in the universe. All tomorrows are filled with harmonious and happy occupations. I look to the future with pleasure and anticipation, knowing it expands my opportunity for self-expression. Loving my past and future, I understand the continued and unbroken chain of life. There is no future to fear and no past to bring discord into the present.
Russell really doesn't need much introduction around here. We all know him. We all love him. We all count on him. He serves us in so many beautiful ways. However, I wanted to know a little more about him. And I don't know if y'all know what I'm going to read, because I was absolutely amazed at who this man is outside of these walls. He calls himself a possibility engineer. He's a licensed practitioner, of course, serving here at New Dawn. He speaks and writes on topics that include spirituality, personal development, leadership, business strategy, accessing capital for business growth, creating systems for effective management, and funding for nonprofits. He is also an 11-year veteran of the United States Air Force. Thank you for your service, sir. He currently works as a commercial finance consultant at Aspen Commercial Lending in Lone Tree. He's a here's some more amazing, as you hold on to your seats. He is a graduate of Husson, is that how you say it? University in Bangor, Maine, where he obtained degrees in business administration and accounting. He holds an MBA from Jones International University, is a certified Wayfinder consultant. He's a Toastmasters competent communicator and a graduate of the National Speakers Association in 2015 Colorado Speakers Academy. He was selected as the SBA Minority Business Advocate of the Year in 2003 in the state of Maine. So we all knew he was pretty amazing, and now we know a little more about him as well. So everybody, welcome Russell here to share his brilliance with us.
Can get a lot of things done when I remember to take my medication. Don't have to do everything the voices tell me. So glad to see all of you here. And we were talking about a grand rising. This is what 2024 is about. It's about a grand rising to the fullness and the allness that God made each one of us to be. What a charge. So, just to look at what we've had the month, we've had guest speakers here. We've had an amazing group of guest speakers. We've got an amazing group of speakers to come. We apologize for today in advance, but we've got an amazing group of people coming. So in the first week of the month, Reverend Bridget McCann invited us. She invited us to seize the brand new baby day and embrace unlimited possibilities. A new day brings with it a chance to be a better version of ourselves. Let us seize the opportunity to grow, learn, and evolve, Robin Sharma. And Bridget brought that message to us. In week 2, we had Reverend Steve Kine's father. And I know he's not a Catholic, but every time I look at his name, for some reason I have to catch myself. I almost blurted out, Father, Steve Kine's father. I'm sure he would forgive me for that, but I don't want to do that. But he encouraged us to acknowledge the good, the bad, and the ugly. Everything that has taken place before has taken place. And how do we know that these things that have taken place in the past were meant to be? They happened. They happened. So up until now, everything is unfolded in the way that it has. And we're moving forward now by asking what we want to express and stepping into that inner knowing that we have a built-in power source that is unlimited, absolutely unlimited. We don't have to manufacture or come up with any power to do anything because we are made from a power that makes things of itself. Or as more familiar language to you might be that we're all made in God's image. Each an individual expression. There are about 8 billion people on earth right now. And you, each one of you, has a gift to bring the world that nobody out of that other 8 billion people has. You're here to do something. What is that something? It's a call. That's kind of the short term we have. It's a call, and nobody can define that for you, but we'll get into that later. And so the thing that came to mind out of his talk, there's something in every one of you that waits and listens for the sound of the genuine in yourself. It's the only true God that you will ever have. There's other names for it. It's like a small, still voice, inner knowing. That is God expressing as only you can do. And of course, last week we had the amazing Reverend Michelle Scavetta here. I just love to hear her talk. She had all kind of good news, but she invited us to do what we sing about at the end of every song. Give yourself permission to step into your greatness. She talked about deep listening. I can't, Spirit can. That was the first piece of our homework she gave us to think about. God winks and then surprise me. See, when you open yourself at the top and you trust this power that we're talking about here, it flows through us. It's in us. It's around us. And it flows through us as us to do absolutely amazing things. There are folks, each and every one of you here has done absolutely amazing things. I'm learning more all the time about a lot of you folks as we look into what that next expression of New Dawn is going to look like. And I'm excited. Every week, something else just kind of pops up. So this week, we're going to ground ourselves in the truth of who we are and our vision for who we're becoming, and letting that inform our thought, words, action, and releasing all that no longer serves us. Because we have to release these things. These are the things that block us. You know, there's that voice inside that wants to tell us that we're less than. There's that voice inside that wants to tell us that we have to be self-reliant somehow and come up with some kind of power to do things when we don't know how we're going to get there. But remember what Reverend Michelle said. I don't know how, Spirit does. And so it's that level of belief and that level of trust that we bring to everything that we do. You know, we've got an unlimited source. It's just like an outlet for an appliance. You know, if we don't plug things in, they don't work. You know, these appliances and computers, and they're kind of persnickety that way. They don't seem to want to work when they don't have any power. And we're like that. But when we plug in the source, we can just go, go, go. Just like the Energizer Bunny, we go, go, go. That's there for us to tap into, you know. So this week we're talking about new, now, what's next? We've gone through a lot of change. A lot of change has taken place here. This community has evolved in a lot of ways. You know, we were talking about that's how we've never done it. That's our monthly theme. That's how we've never done it. We get grounded in what we receive here, and we're fed in certain ways. And this community has been absolutely amazing. It's really funny how I ended up here, you know. I had my friend Bill, who's in the back here, has been a member here for many, many years. And there were workshops called Adventures in Faith that we used to have. And he started inviting me to these workshops. And I'm sitting in these workshops and we're talking about really great things. And what he didn't tell me is that I'm sitting there with him and he's got 4 or 5 practitioners from this community. And we're sitting there and I'm learning things about spirit from these folks, you know. And as a result of that, I thought, oh, this is pretty cool. I decided I hit a wall. There were areas in my life that just were not working. And what I needed to do was raise my level of consciousness, change the way that I felt inside. So I decided I need to make regular worship at New Dawn a part of my life. That was part of it. And, you know, as luck would have it, well, let me just put it this way, you know, if you hang around someplace long enough, they start finding stuff for you to do. You know, I ended up as a member of the Leadership Council, which at that time we called the Board of Trustees. And so a lot of things started to take place, you know. The people that were in that community, and I just want to jump into the Wayback Machine very briefly, because there were people around like Carol and Larry Swift. We had a lovely senior minister by the name of Karen Pascal, who was absolutely remarkable in every way, who taught me a lot. I started taking classes and getting grounded into the power of the principles that we learn and this way of life and what that means. And the amount of power that I had access to, I had no idea. I had absolutely no idea. But Spirit did. Spirit did have an idea. My education just kept going and going and going. And there were other people, you know. And at my first Spirit meeting, I was informed that Dr. Karen wanted to retire. And we had a very, 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 very short period of time to replace her. Oh, and to kick it off, can't talk about it. So I kind of thought, okay, well, I think I've stepped into the deep end of the pool, but I was hanging on the Sioux. I wasn't going down by myself. And that was quite a transition. There were a lot of emotions and a lot of things that come with that, you know. But, you know, the folks that were here, everybody that passes through your life, even if you only meet that person once, you will never be the same again as a result of that contact, of having that connection. And we've had, you know, Dr. Karen's just one. We had many wonderful practitioners. Some of them have transitioned. I know some of you remember Paul DeBaca. You know, we had great people here who were all in. The Seatons, Troy and Sana, a lot of people contributed to my spiritual growth, to the spiritual growth of this community. Change is kind of painful. It's something that we kind of fear. And when people step away, whether that's for their own development or they transition, it feels like, well, we've lost something there, you know. But what I choose to do is look at how I've grown, how this community has grown, what we've gained as a result of the fact that these folks were present in our lives, and what they leave us in our hearts. Because it's our charge to go out and express, as Spirit would have us express. And Spirit has greater need of us sometimes in other places than it does right here. The selfish part of me wants to hang on to you guys. But that inner knowing is that, okay, we got to answer the call. And it can be scary, but we answer that, you know. So I want to talk, today is Palm Sunday. And there's this guy some of you might have heard of. They called him Jesus. Now here's a guy that had one heck of a call to answer. He was grounded in the truth of the oneness that he had with Spirit and understood that there were no limits because of that connection. So this is the day, about 2,025 years ago, more or less, that he rode into town and people were excited because they knew about this guy. Everybody he came in contact with, he moved. Now, some of those people were a little upset with him, you know. Whether they disliked him or the vast majority of them loved him, he moved some people. He shook some people up. He made some people uncomfortable because it's like, okay, I can't. Spirit can. I don't know how Spirit knows how. Spirit moves through me. I'm not doing any of this. Spirit is moving through me. And he shook a lot of stuff up. He also knew as he was taking that ride through town while people were singing his praises, he knew that the crap was going to hit the fan in about a week. Now, he could have run and hid. He could have rallied some people to his side to try to help them defend him. He said, nope, this is the call, and I'm all in. I am all in. And he stepped up to the plate. It was never done like that before, and it's never been done like that since. He stepped up to the plate with that full trust. He was grounded in this truth, and he knew that he was moving into a greater good that conquered all. He was making a demonstration that this power can overcome any obstacle before us, and that we have a divine spark that operates in accordance to our level of belief. You will see it when you believe it. And he had bottomless, unlimited trust, and he stepped up to the plate. And Ernest Holmes, our founder, captured it well. All the power in the universe is with you. Feel it, know it, and act as if it's true. Own that. Because this power wants nothing but the best for you and will put as much good in your life as you will allow it to. Isn't that amazing? There's only one obstacle to my good. Stalks me, stares at me when I'm trying to shave or brush my teeth. Yeah. So, we're waking up to the idea that we're bigger than we thought we were. We've got something, we are made of this stuff, of this power. It's all here for us. Now we ask ourselves, what's next? What are we going to do about this? Everything is different. Some of it may not be like I like it, So we just experienced another transition, and the reason all of these remarkable folks have been in and out of here is because Reverend Jen Weil, who was our teacher as practitioners, and I want to tell you a few things about that lady. I learned about resilience. I learned that you step into your fear. This was probably not the easiest situation to drop a minister into, the way that it was done. She showed up. She showed up with resilience. She answered that call. And I got to think that there was a lot of fear in that. That didn't stop her. I was in her corner. I said to her, we have got you. We have got you. It wasn't easy, and she She answered that call. And she has answered another call. What is it? What is mine to do? What's mine to do right now? What is that next greater expression that I need to step into? See, when we suffer, a lot of that is due to the fact that we are resisting. We've got a resistance to this call. We've got a resistance to this next expression that is meant for us because we're not sure, we're not comfortable, we don't know how we're going to do this, and how is none of my business. It's what. What's mine to do now? I don't know how. Spirit does. Spirit does. So we got this grand assignment, we're waking up to this idea of that larger expression. The same is true for this community. Some of our friends left. Some of it was pleasant. Some of it was unpleasant. We've had people step away. It's just not the same. Well, what are we going to do about that? There's no path to a better past, spiritual or otherwise. What are we going to do about it? And so there's a process of grief. And, grief, nobody likes to talk about that stuff. It's not fun stuff. It's like our fingerprints. It's unique to each one of us. And, we've gotten a lot of bad advice about what grief is and how to handle it. Somebody, no matter what happens, somebody says, oh, I know how you feel. No, you don't. No, you don't. You don't have a clue. Even in the same situation. But what we do, part of how we protect ourselves is, being graduates of MSU. That's the school that makes stuff up. We start creating these nice little stories to cocoon ourselves so we don't have to deal with these unpleasant emotions. Shortest path is a straight line. We have to go through these things. This is the way to let them through. Humans are genetically wired to just kind of focus on the negative. We start thinking about all of the bad things that happen. We start thinking about how each and every one of us has, oh my God, exhibited our humanity. And maybe we've let you down by things we've done or failed to do, things that we said that we shouldn't have said. And we just don't forgive ourselves for that. Humans, we get the spiritual billy club out. And we take it to ourselves and we take it to our people around us, But we have to leave these things be because there's no path to that better past. What's next? We change our perspective, and this is what healing is all about. Healing is nothing but a change of perspective. Pure and simple. We look at what we gained. We look at how those folks have helped us grow. We look at how the adversity that has taken place in our lives has shaped who we are. And sometimes that adversity is the very thing that gets us to look for our spirituality, that gets us to look for that connection within, You don't always have to set your life on fire to do that. Some people just do that naturally, but a lot of us have to do that. So we're grounded in the way of life and some principles in here that can get you through anything. New dawn. Each one of us make up new dawn. There is no new dawn without you. I'm not new dawn. Nancy may not be new dawn, but collectively, all of us together, we are new dawn. And we had that statement that we read. This is who we are, collectively. And none of us is as smart as all of us. We can do a lot of amazing things together. And so Mahatma Gandhi speaks to unity. I believe in the essential unity of all people, and for that matter, all that lives. Therefore, I believe that if one person gains spiritually, the whole world gains spiritually. If one person falls, the whole world falls to that extent. Mahatma Gandhi. Now, that's an interesting way that those words are structured. If one falls, the world falls to that extent. So that would be for that one individual expression, not the whole world. But when you start to add those up, it's exponential. One member of New Dawn plus one member of New Dawn equals 3. This is that multiplier effect, that spiritual multiplier effect that rolls. And this is why we're in a space of just absolutely unlimited power. So we've got a common stake because we have a common stake in this community and in the world, because for the Centers of Spiritual Living, the bottom line is we want to make a world that works for everyone. How do we make a world that works for everyone? It starts with me. I've got to be kinder, more compassionate, a little bit more gentle. I need to ask myself, what's mine to do? Step up to that. How can I be of service to other people? Love and service. How do I need to express? God didn't give you the gifts. Well, God does love each and every one of us unconditionally. It's crazy about us. Nothing you're going to do is going to earn you any extra favor. That unlimited love is there just because you're you. But each of us has gifts. And we can look around and we can listen to news and look at things and get caught up in all that doesn't look or sound or feel as though it's good. And we can't do anything about all of the things we look at the news. We do what's in our hula hoop, what's right in front of us. John Wesley says, do all the good you can by all the means you can, in all the ways you can, in all the places you can, at all the times you can, to all the people you can, as long as you ever can. That's a lot of doing good. Yeah. So we step forth the best way we know how, And what you'll ultimately find is that living in this way, you're being of service to yourself. When you live all out in this manner, you'll experience a more direct and delightful connection with all the good Spirit has in store for you. Now, this is not saying everything's just going to go smooth and peachy keen and you're just going to be on the dance floor and nobody can stop you. Life has a way of happening, but it's understanding that this ultimate good is here. Not down the road, not later. This good is here. It's right here. It's right here, right now. And it is always on. This source is never depleted. It is limitless. And it's here for us. All we have to do is set that intention to step into our greatness and be in alignment with Spirit and know that it wants our highest, best good. Do what we can. Do what we can. So if there are things that are weighing us down, if we're experiencing some kind of inner voice that's telling us, no, you can't do it. Something that's saying that we're not worth it. These problems, I got these problems. I got a pretty big God too. And there ain't a problem he can't dispose of, not one. And so with all these gifts, I cultivate these abilities that I have. God has given me a lot. And so I don't have to look at outside circumstances. John Randolph Price made it pretty clear. He says, the Spirit of God within is the source and supply of all my good. I have got limitless energy. I've got everything available to me. I can ask Spirit for what I want. And as long as I'm doing that in the spirit of love and service, I don't know how. This is how I want to express. These are the people I want to serve. Tell me what to do. What's mine to do? Give me what I need to do it. And there it is. You know, we've got these unique gifts that we have to give to everyone. And as we focus our thinking in this direction, we come to find out that we are new, we're enlightened, new awareness, new stuff comes up. We become aware of things that we weren't aware of. One word for it is enlightenment. And so what do you do with this enlightenment? Well, before you get it, you chop wood and you carry water. And after the lights come on, you chop wood and carry water. That's our charge, that's our call. So, you know, divine guidance is gladly going to answer that question, what's mine to do? But once we get the answer, our job is to treat and move our feet. There's prayer. It's active. It's powerful. It works. And if you don't think it works, we got practitioners here who will help you, who have that level of belief. And this stuff works. We treat and move our feet because why? I don't know how, but Spirit does. So this week, I want to invite you to forgive and release all of the things that no longer serve you. Take time to visualize the unique ways that you can express in this world to create a world that works for everyone, and spend some quiet time in the knowing that you are perfect, whole, and complete by divine design. And always remember three things. First, your life matters. Your life matters. Second, you are worth every ounce of your best effort. And three, there is never anything to fix. Please join me in prayer. We give thanks for this unlimited power, this source that we call God, and for all that this source provides. We know that this power moves in, around, through us, as us, to express itself in the world in unique ways, to love and serve everyone we come in contact with. We know that each and every person we come in contact with is a divine expression of that power, and that there is only good and there is only God. We give thanks for all of the gifts that God has presented us. We give thanks for every situation and every person that has come into our space, because we know that everything in this life is ultimately for good, and that all of these situations, all of these people have come through for our good, to make a world that works for everyone. We give thanks for each and every person in the sound of my voice, whether you're watching online in this space and everywhere in the world, knowing that we are all one. I release these words in the divine law, knowing that these things are already done in the divine mind. At the intersection of right here and right now, I let this go, I let it be. And together we affirm, and so it is.
So many choices, so little time. So many mountains left to climb. but I know that it gets clearer as I get nearer to where I want to be. I can't be anybody but myself, and everybody else is already taken. I've got to follow my own road, and God only knows where I'm going. Everybody trying to fit in. Got to feel good in my own skin. Gonna use my imagination for inspiration every chance I get. I can't be anybody but myself, and everybody else is already taken. I've got to follow my own road, and God only knows where I'm going. Trusting my instincts, keeping me in sync with my head and my heart and my soul. I can't be anybody but myself, and everybody else is already taken. I've got to follow my own road. God only knows where I'm going. Play it for him, brother. Road. God only knows where I'm going. I can't be anybody but myself, and everybody else is already taken. Can't follow my own road, and God only knows where I'm going. And God only knows where I'm going.